Hello, this is John from MyBurnOnGames.com. It is August 26, 2017, and I'm going to play Global Defense for the Sega Master System. It's been a long time since I've published a video, about half a year in fact. Not that I haven't been playing video games, I have been playing video games, I just have not been playing them with the intent of recording. I did get a new PC at the beginning of this year, and surprisingly, digitizing my media collection has taken up the bulk of my time. I've gotten real big into the Plex service, Plex Media Server, and putting all my CDs, all my DVDs and Blu-rays on there, and I'm off to a stunning start. Wow. And plus I got married, so a lot of the planning and just stress related to that kind of made me not want to record anything. And also, I was playing nothing but Master System games. I was kind of getting burned out. You know, for every really solid game, there'd be at least one kind of less than stellar game. I'm doing really terribly. Anyways, on this game, this is Global Defense for the Sega Master System. Came out in 1987, developed and published by Sega. It was an arcade game originally called SDI, Strategic Defense Initiative. I am controlling this satellite and shooting down all these missiles and enemy satellites, enemy craft. Basically I'm just protecting the planet. Controls kind of peculiarly... I don't know, that's a word, right? Peculiarly? That does not sound right. Probably it's not. I normally, by moving around the D-pad, I'm moving the cursor to my satellite. If I want to move the satellite, I have to hold down the 1 button. And of course, pressing the 2 button fires. Let's see... Okay, got 100% of the bases, that's something. And the game's broke up into offensive halves and defensive halves. So the offensive half, I'm trying to destroy as much of the enemy weaponry and artillery and satellites and bases as possible. And here on the defensive half, I'm trying to protect the planet from the incoming missiles. It's kind of a lot like Missile Command, especially in this section, in this defensive half section. Not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed whenever I booted it up, because I was kind of hoping for a shoot-'em-up. You know, an old-school side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. This is... Oh, yeah, see. It's got a unique premise, or... Well, take that back. It doesn't have a unique premise. Half of the games that came out back in the 80s and early 90s were what? Space shooters, protect the Earth from aliens, enemy craft, stuff like that. It's got unique gameplay. And I guess in the arcades, originally this was controlled with a joystick and a trackball. A joystick to move the satellite around, a trackball to move the cursor. It's pretty difficult, and I'm not going to play it through to completion. I have a set number of lives during the offensive halves. I basically start with 3 lives, but during the defensive halves. Did I say offensive halves? During the offensive halves, I have a set number of lives, but during the defensive halves, it's, one opportunity. And that bar down at the bottom of the screen is basically the amount of damage the Earth has taken in the defensive half, or the amount of enemies that have escaped my clutches in the offensive half. Whenever it reaches the maximum, I, of course, lose a life. And if that happens during the defensive half, it's immediately game over. There's nothing to protect if I can't protect the planet. Okay, I did pretty good that time. Much better. Interestingly, this game doesn't have a 2-player mode per se, but it does have 2-player opportunity. If you plug in a second controller, you can control the ship, you control the satellite and the cursor at the same time using the D-pads on the 2 controllers. And the satellite auto-fires in that instance. I tried it a little bit beforehand, and the auto-firing is actually really quite fast, and I was actually able to make it a few stages in. I think I will try and attempt playing it 2-player. You know, get someone else to play it with me. Just because that was pretty fun. I imagine that's going to be the best way to beat the game. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to play through the entire game, at least at this point. The game just kind of repeats these offensive halves, defensive halves. I guess for what the manual says is 20 stages, but in doing some reading, it looks like it's maybe actually 20 stages. Oh, I got perfect on the bases. Oh, I got a nice bonus there. And of course, you know, the enemy layout, the enemies I am trying to destroy will change. But, I mean, for the most part, it's just kind of repeating. You know, see here, now these missiles are coming from the bottom of the screen rather than the right of the screen. And I just realized, you know, it's been a long, long time since I've recorded a video. Like half a year. Earlier this week, I spent basically an hour or two just getting this set up again. I had not set it up on my new computer since I got it, and it was somewhat arduous, but it went according to plan. You know, I knew it was going to be lengthy, but I just realized I'm not hearing the game. I don't have the headphones plugged in, so really I'm just wearing these headphones for show. Destroy that base. I think I've got all the bases again. Oh. I don't like how you can only destroy objects, destroy enemies whenever the shots are by your cursor. You know, I wish that, you know, as they are making their way towards the cursor, that they would actually impact the enemies. 100% of the satellites and 100% of the bases, alright. Starting off strong in this defensive half. I think the first time I played, I didn't realize that you could shoot into the background here, destroy the incoming missiles before they started coming down. So naturally, I did quite poorly. I'm doing pretty good now. We'll see how far I can make it. This is a pretty enjoyable game. I can see it, you know, being especially more so with another person. Kind of takes some of the burden off of, you know, having to focus on moving separately while not firing and firing while not moving. Being able to do both at the same time kind of makes it an easier experience. Yep, got the perfect bonuses for destroying all the satellites, all the bases. I'm doing pretty good, actually. I'm surprised. I've only played this game, I don't know, half hour or so before this. Oh, and this is probably the best I'm doing. There's a new enemy type. Don't know what that was. Oh, we got some different looking enemy bases. Ooh, did not move out quickly enough. And that's what I'm talking about. Had I not been shooting, or had I not been focusing on shooting, I could have easily moved out of the way. Not seeing any power-ups so far, unless I've just overlooked them. The power-ups do varying things. I forget what they do. Basically, like, increase the speed of the projectiles. They increase the speed of the satellite itself, and I know one of them basically reduces all the damage that's been dealt, or all the enemies that have escaped. Oh, need to move. I guess those little diamonds don't fire. Not the ones on the planet, but the small... Ooh. Thought I was going to get them. The small little diamonds. I guess they're not really a threat. I just have to avoid them. Okay, looks like I've made it through the offensive half, right? No, just a little bit more. Okay, now I've made it past the offensive half. It'll be nice to start playing games on camera again. Kind of work through my backlog. You know, I've been focusing on the Master System, at least Sega platforms, Genesis 32X for the longest time. I've added a few games to my Master System collection since recording last, but I know I had got through a good chunk of them previously, so once I finish up the Master System, then I can move on to something else. Yeah, I've been wanting to play the Master System, play these Sega platforms just because I was always a Nintendo kid growing up, so these are experiences I was not having back then. And especially the Master System. You know, I got the Master System at a garage sale a year or two ago. That sucks. And so this is really my first hands-on exposure. This has been my first hands-on exposure to the system. Okay, that's about 10 minutes. I mean, that's game over. I lost on the defensive half, so it doesn't matter how many lives I had stored up. I am dead now. Game over. I think I will call it there. Like I said, I will probably do another video of this whenever I get a friend to play with me, just so we can check out the two-player mode and actually maybe stand a solid chance of getting deep into the game. But that is a quick look of Global Defense for the Sega Master System. Once again, this was John from mybrainongames.com. You can check me out there. You can also check me out on Twitter as John Engelman. That's JohnEngelman. Anyways, thanks for watching. Do come back. Bye-bye.